This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
This is the fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5, and we're going to find out how good is this all-wheel drive system. We're going to put it through the TFL Slip Test, where we get various wheels stuck on purpose to find out can it get unstuck, and then we're going to bring it out into Andre's pit, put it through the trenches course, and find out in the real world, is the Mazda CX-5 good enough to get you where you need to go? Welcome to the TFL Slip Test. Now what we do in this test is get various wheels stuck on purpose in our rollers to see how the all-wheel drive system reacts to really tough situations. Imagine driving through deep snow or ice. We're going to find out exactly how the CX-5 might do in a controlled environment before we put it into some real-world conditions. So the first test is the front wheel slip test. The CX-5, like most other crossovers in this category, are primarily front-wheel drive biased, and it can send power to the back when the situation is needed. So we're going to get the front wheels stuck, as they might be in snow or ice, then into drive and see if we can get unstuck. So onto the gas, a little bit of throttle. We can see right off the bat that the rear wheels were engaged, ready to go. Not a lot of slip, and we drove right down. Good first result. Next up, we have the diagonal slip test. So the left front and the right rear wheels stuck in these rollers, the other two are going to have to engage to get us unstuck. Now this is very common. Imagine you're driving up like a slippery curb, you get opposite ends of the car a little bit stuck. Let's see if the traction control can do its thing to pull us off the rollers. Now we're running all these tests first in the normal setting, like you would drive this car every single day. And then if we get stuck, we can start playing with some different modes as well. So diagonal slip test, we're nice and settled. Onto the gas. Oh, actually, not, come on, Mazda. Okay. Well, that was kind of an interesting result. So usually in most of these cars, you get kind of a progressive buildup of brake pressure in the line that would kind of then, slowly try to distribute torque. The Mazda was a lot of slip and then a big grab of brake, and you can actually hear that front right tire squeaking on the ground as it, kind of grabbed and then let go, grabbed and then let go. So not a super progressive result, but definitely effective. I do want to try it one more time in the off-road setting and see if that changes things. Now there's a button on the screen of this Mazda to engage the off-road mode, so that's what I've gone ahead and done. Let's see how this changes our performance on the diagonal test. Nice and settled in neutral, into drive, onto the gas. It's actually made it much worse. So we're getting a lot of wheel spin, but really no traction control intervention at all, which is the opposite of what we want. So let's go back into normal. I can also try the sport mode. Let's try sport mode. There we go. So ultimately, the system does work, but I would like to see more aggressive torque management with the brake grab and less slip, because I think we're going to find out maybe in the real world as well that is kind of a slower system to respond than some of its competitors in this category. So we're stepping it up a couple notches. Now we're going to the extreme test. So in this test, both rear wheels are stuck, left front is stuck, only the right front is on the ground. This is called the 3-wheel slip test, and this is going to really push the limits of this all-wheel drive system. So settled in the rollers. We're going to start out in the normal setting again, and then we can play with off-road or sport if we need to. So in the normal setting. Okay, so what we saw there actually was a pretty good result. So the whole car started to pivot and shift as torque was sent to that wheel on the ground. I should say wheel speed. And then ultimately it twisted this so much that it probably caught on the side of the rollers. Now this is somewhat of a flaw of the test, but it also means the system is working as intended, because we are getting so much torque transfer that the car is starting to pivot on that one wheel. So really that was a good result. Even though it looks like it slid off the side, and it did, that's because I was trying to counteract that kind of pivot factor of all that torque going to that one wheel. So we'll try it one more time, see if we can get a more consistent result in like off-road mode, but that's pretty decent. All right, let's try it one more time in the off-road mode. Backing onto the rollers. Let the vehicle settle. Onto the gas. There it goes. Well, it's not pretty, and it's not comfortable, but you get a lot of wheel spin, like huge amounts of wheel spin, and then the system is just bang on the brakes, and it drags you off the rollers. So it does work, but you gotta hold on. All right, now we're gonna try the hardest test of them all. 3-wheel slip test with one rear wheel on the ground. And I'm gonna go into the normal setting again, and then we can try off-road if we can't get off. So normal setting. Come on, baby. What a wild ride this thing is. Okay, it's not having it in the normal. So let's go into the off-road. There we go, off-road setting engaged. Come on. Oh my God, that is so much wheel speed, but it's just not doing what we need it to do. So I'm gonna try TCS off. Maybe that'll help. Oh, it does. Definitely felt more torque transfer there. All right, I got an all-wheel drive light flashing now. High all-wheel drive system load, vehicle and front wheel drive, drive slowly. Yeah, not great. Oh man, this is the most dramatic slip test I've done in a long time. Let me try power cycling the car here. This thing is all over the place, everybody. So I'm gonna try that one more time. Car setting. Then we're gonna go into off-road mode. And we'll do TCS off. That did seem to be our best bet of getting off this. I can feel the rear wheels really trying. No, and it went back into front wheel drive mode. Okay, so not, I mean, look, obviously this is not intended to be an off-road machine, but we run even the street cars to our slip test to really push the limits, and we found the limits, trust me. It's an interesting setup because it's either kind of all or nothing. Like, there's no gradual build-up to torque intervention in this Mazda. It's like, almost feels like it has no traction control, and then it just slaps you in that butt and you get a massive torque transfer, and then the all-wheel drive system turns off. So I'm not super impressed, but it's also, I think, probably going to be okay for most people's use cases, but we're going to get it out into the trenches and see what it means in the real world. Before we take the CX-5 off-road, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Grainger Warranties. If you are looking at buying a Mazda, a Toyota, a Honda, any number of new crossover, and you want to keep this car long term, that's where Grainger comes in, because with an extended warranty, you can rest easy knowing that well after the factory warranty has expired, you can bring your Mazda into the dealership, get it fixed, and have Grainger cover it. Check them out using the link below, and a huge thank you to Grainger Warranties for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's put this thing to the test in the real world. This is the trenches course here at Tumbleweed Ranch, and we've got these grooves cut into the earth at offset angles to get the vehicles on two wheels, and we've got a hill to climb. This is a very good real world test to see how an all-wheel drive system works. If it works here, it'll probably get you to school on a snowy day. Now we have about 8 inches of ground clearance, so not a ton of ground clearance, and this Mazda is running the now tried and true 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that they use in everything. This is an engine they've had in production for going on 15 years now. 187 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque, and a 6-speed torque converter automatic. So at least it's not a CVT, and at least it's not a dual clutch. That should help us out here. But let's give her a go. Let's see how she does. So we're starting off in normal mode. Where's that torque transfer? Okay, that's pretty good, actually. All things considered, not bad. So first transition's okay. It's gonna get tougher here though. So now the left front and the right rear are gonna go up in the air. Oh, pretty good so far. It's gonna get steeper up here. Traction control lights blinking. Okay, come to a stop. Okay, that's not too good here. So we want to come to a stop to make it as hard as possible, but now it is fully stuck. Put my windows up so I don't get it too dusty in here. Let's give it a little bit of a bump. Oh no. Oh, it is not happy. Let's give it one more go. A little bit of a bump. Foot to the floor, foot to the floor, foot to the floor, and we're going backwards. Okay, so time to engage the off-road mode because we are off-road now. So go to the car setting here, off-road mode engaged. Here we go, okay. See, that's good. We need that aggression that off-road mode comes equipped with. There we go. Definitely an improved result there. Come on, we got the last hill here, full throttle. Okay, all right. Well, certainly vast improvement in the trenches the second we went in off-road mode. Really has a big impact on the vehicle performance. So if you are gonna find yourself in an area where maybe traction is very limited like that, I thought off-road mode does seem to do the trick in the real world. So that was good. The normal mode was cutting a lot of power, wasn't doing the torque distribution we needed it to do. But let's do off-road mode, and what we found in the slip test is actually in that last one, it felt the most willing to do torque distribution with TCS off, traction control off, which is kind of counterintuitive because traction control is actually what is doing the wheel speed transfer, but in this car it seems to put it in a different mode when you turn it off. So I'm going off-road mode, TCS off, and let's see if that's the best setting of them all. I'm happy to say though, we're not running out of ground clearance anywhere here. The clearances actually seem to be pretty good, and the cameras are actually quite helpful. Oh yeah, really good. Okay. Car really is very mode dependent. So like a lot of cars, the different modes don't seem to do much, but in the CX-5, come on, there you go. There we go. In the new CX-5, it really does have a big impact if you're in the normal versus off-road TCS off. So not a perfect result certainly, but very good for this category of car, and I think it performed better in the trenches than what we saw on that initial slip test. So I am fairly impressed actually. I think that overall, for being an on-roader, that's pretty good result. You just have to remember to click it into the right mode if you're going over some tricky terrain. What a whirlwind in today's video. This Mazda was a little bit of a mixed bag, but really pulled through in the end there. Certainly on the slip test, it had its pros and it had its cons. And when we tried the trenches course in normal mode, I thought there was no way we're gonna get this beautiful red Mazda up the trenches course. But that off-road mode really does make a difference. And you go off-road mode, traction control off, and the thing ended up working really well. So I think that this car really does have the ability to get you where you need to go, but you have to be very deliberate about clicking the button when you need to click it, or you may end up stuck. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments section below. A huge thank you to Gavin behind the camera for shooting and editing this one, and we'll see you in the next video.